Holy shit. So this, by size of those other things in comparison, the war is very small, and the global economy effect of these major economies is very large. So the war will probably contribute like 1 to 2% of the bullishness, which is just a guess, right? But it's going to be very small.
So as you mentioned, he's basically saying that. Well, I mean, I know that you know, but what I want to point out is how he said that it won't be a drastic change. So let's say, like how we were saying earlier, when we had the Bitcoin chart up, when we had war news, it went from 61,000 all the way down to 48,000 to the downside. Then it's like we had war news at 66K, and then just like you said, we're still holding 60K. Like we're not going down below that. I mean, who knows if we can, but I'm saying now it's been 2 days already, and we're still around like the 60,000 to 61,000 range. So let me see if
Major
he's
economies is very large. So this, by size of those other things in comparison, the war is very small, and the global economy effect of these major economies is very large.
so it's basically like all the bullish exterior macroeconomics and exterior factors are basically just overriding the war news in a sense, especially since it's Q4. Like maybe if this were to happen like at the beginning of the year or something, or like, something like that, we probably go even lower. But like he said, I think there's more exterior factors where it's just like keeping us up. Q4 is just so bullish where it's like it's not gonna be a huge, huge change on the downside. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know
like
if he
ignored on the downside. Um, Bullish news is
right,
exaggerated on a
hundred
bull run.
percent. Right. I don't need to show him anymore. But
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I
if you
agree.
wanna
I agree with that for sure. Definitely. It's I feel like it's a smoke and mirrors. This war, manipulation, or this war things have happened in
right,
the world. Iran, right, versus what is it now? Israel. But holding sixty
right,
k is that's what else news can we get for it to go lower than that? If we can't, it's
right,
the signs are there. The signs are there, and I'm staying in the market. I'm bidding.
right. Oh yeah. I don't think that I'd even I mean that even the other day when I rotated like some funds out fast, it was just so many fees where like I think I paid like over 200 or 300 in fees by like having to like swap everything without bridging and things, and I'm like, bro, it's not even worth selling, bro. It's not even. I'm just gonna hold it. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to pull up some charts and then stream it or.
Yeah, I could pull up some of the stuff I have for us today, um, and then I guess we could do some
Okay.
like just macro first, and then we could talk about altcoins after that. I think that'd be pretty good.
Right.
Round out.
Yeah.
Let me share my screen. Let me know when you see it.
Right. Okay. It says stream is paused. I think you have it minimized.
How about now?
There it goes. Perfect.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. But it's on our Discord, right? Let's see. That
Yeah.
was the
You probably
wrong
have to change
screen
it
then.
to
How
like
about now?
screen one.
Yeah, you're right.
And my internet's slow, so yeah. Perfect.
All right. So we got Bitcoin
You're good.
dominance here. Well, I guess we start with Bitcoin first, and then we'll go with some of the more
All right.
um, exterior analysis. I'm starting with all fresh charts, so we're pretty much just doing it from scratch. It's good to look at a clean chart every day, just so you just don't stick
All right.
with what you've made in the past and you made up your mind. It's good to have that clarity and not
All
be
right.
forced on one side or the other, bull or bear. So we're still within this flag, which we talked about, and it goes straight to 100K. You probably have seen it all over Twitter. But just pulling the flag real quick, could pull this on like a 3-day. Like we barely hit the upper band again. We did not break it, right? But
Right.
I assume this is just a shakeout. So this is the
Right.
breakout.
Have
It goes
another
to
leg up.
100K, right? Another leg up, eventually 100K. That is minimum I see for this cycle. And we are just holding right now 60K.
Right.
We made a higher low on September 3rd, right? I'm going to make it green so we could see.
Right.
And we broke our August highs here convincingly. And this is a 3-day chart. So that's a pretty
Ah, I
big piece of
see.
data,
I see.
as well as the 5-day and the weekly. So this is confirmation that we have higher high and higher low. I'll
Right.
make it a different color just so we could see the differences. Like we literally broke that on a macro candle chart, the weekly. So for me,
Right.
it's already
Yeah.
confirmed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna say something.
Oh yeah. My bad. I was just saying. Calvin literally said that about 2 or 3 days ago. He was like, "Dude, hey, you look at the chart. We're making higher lows, man. Like, it's looking really good. Like, super clean up."
Super. So as long as we don't break this 51, or even the closure was technically like 54, we're still gonna be at a higher low, which is still a bullish structure. We could literally still correct to 55, another what, like 5-6%, even 8%.
Right.
But I mean, we're still well within a bullish structure. It's textbook. And we're down 33% on the macro swing. 33. Bitcoin typically does a 25 to 30, 35% in an uptrend correction. So
Mm.
this is typical.
Right.
Typically, it doesn't take 7 months of it. That's kind of like why we're here. And some people are
Right.
uncertain, but again, we got this flag forming, and I could clear out this drawings. But one last thing before we move on to a different chart is the 200-day. We just broke out of it like a week ago, September 17,
Mm-hmm.
and we're still above it. So if we stay above it on the daily, we're still in an uptrend as well. Like that's another way to
Right.
look at it. Like just looking at the past times we've stayed above it, it's been a bull trend. So we're still above it.
I see.
That's another confluence right there. And yeah, 60K is
Right.
a pretty psychological level as well. So it's pretty good that we're there. If you kind of look at it this way.
Yeah. Anything above 60, I believe, is a sweet spot. It's still bullish, man. We were at 20, 30K, 40K this year or last year. It's like we're still moving up, man.
Yeah. All right, so I think we both agree we're both bullish. Time will tell when exactly we're
Mm-hmm.
going to break out. Probably it's going to be a few more weeks. Maybe second half to last half of October. We'll still probably end up
Right.
being positive on average of 30%. So I still am with that for sure.
Yep.
Now, Bitcoin dominance.
Crypto is so fast. It's like you just wake up and you see all your alerts. This is up 10%, 20%, 30%. Bitcoin is up 8%. In a day or two. Like,
It'll
so
happen
it's just a
quick when it
matter of
does.
time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, BlackRock is buying, so I don't think they're going
Yeah,
to
they
be
wouldn't they
losing
wouldn't be
money, right?
buying if they were uncertain.
Yeah,
Right.
that's another
Right.
confidence
That's
right
one thing
there.
they don't do.
Exactly. They're not mixing this
Yeah.
emotions of, we're gonna die. If we do have World War III, I mean,
Right.
money's the last thing in our minds, probably. So,
Right.
last cycle, Bitcoin from the end of the bull market, which is January of 18, to
Mhm.
the start of the run up of 2021, was nearly
Right. Of all
1100
these.
days.
Wow.
And then at the end of the May to now, we are at 1,200, a little bit over, but it's still
Mhm.
like 10% within the range. So I'm expecting it to do fall down the next time we do break all time high, and that's when altcoin season does happen. What we had in
Right.
May or February of this year was a little bit of a taste, but
Right.
altcoins are about to go parabolic if on the next leg up here. And ETH BTC now. I noticed a huge correlation here looking at it. Let me go ahead and point in. Or I could just put a line bar literally right here. Every time we are on this line, we bounce crazy over it. You see it over here.
Oh, I
Right
see.
here was the start of a huge accumulation range. As soon as you break above it, this was like a deviation right there. It is literally the
Right.
line of action. And
Touching right on it right now.
we're touching right on it right now. So literally, if this holds, which is looking pretty decent, war news,
Right.
and we're still not below it, we're actually still on it. This is a macro support in confluence with a weekly touch on the oversold RSI.
Wow. Okay.
And this RSI and this is the weekly chart. As you see, it's going up. So I could label it bull
Right.
because it's a bullish divergence, hidden divergence because it's going down on the price. However, the RSI is going up, implying that eventually it's going
To bounce.
to bounce to the high side. It's like giving us that clue there, and
Right.
that's very typical for it to, yeah. So those are the
Yeah.
confluences,
That.
man.
Yeah. That does look clean. It looks clean right there. That's a good explanation. I didn't know that. That's cool. Speaking of alt season, I heard that it usually would be like 6 to 8 weeks of just pure like parabolic. Do you think it's that short? Well, obviously there's a difference between a rally up and then alt season. Like we can rally up and not be an alt season, and then all of a sudden just become full blast alt season. Do you think alt season will last longer than about 6 to 8 weeks? What is that, like 2 months?
That's about 2 months. I've seen it typically has a couple months, like two, maybe three, but it doesn't really have more than that before it corrects heavy. So
Right.
I'd be taking profits pretty heavy after like that second month or so. Um,
Right. Like heavily, heavily. Yeah.
yeah, because yeah, we've seen it, right? We've seen these crazy numbers, like even
Oh
in
yeah.
March, and when the time is done, it's you would have wished you took it out at least 30% here,
Right.
maybe another
Yeah,
40.
right after March we went down like we were going down. So yeah, it's very quick and it ends very quick too.
Right. These altcoins are going to go down 80% or more. Basically,
Right.
back to zero where you started. So,
Mm-hmm.
all that waiting
Right.
for nothing. And a lot of people are going to get blinded, right? Like, a lot of people are not doing TA. A lot of people are just following Twitter influencers or YouTubers, TikTokers telling you to buy bags when it's an all-time high versus when it's on a correction, which we're basically trying to tell you to do now if you're not in the market now. Not a financial advice, of course, but
Right.
that'd be the wrong time to start buying.
Better to have
The hype.
time in the market than timing the market. Oh, that's Pepe. Okay.
Yeah, I guess we could do some altcoins now. Got a request to
Right.
do the Boys Club, a very prominent theme in the market now. I could take off the RSI
Right.
just so I could focus on the candles. On the macro, it did close higher than this swing high, so that's a good sign. Um, we're probably gonna make a higher low here. If I were to make the trend a
Hmm.
little more clean, maybe a 3 day. And I could just do what we did with Bitcoin before, but it's looking
It
pretty
has a
good.
lot of room to even create another higher low.
Right, it could all go down here if we wanted
Yeah.
to. Maybe
Right, and
like
still
that.
make a higher low.
Exactly. Um, so that's that. It's still in a bullish posture on a
Right.
macro fib pool. It's looking pretty sweet still. I mean, it touched the 0.5 fib.
Yeah.
So it has quite a bit of room to grow. People are expecting at least another 10x on this, and I agree, it's very possible, and I think it will hit it. Shiba Inu hit 40 billion last cycle, all-time high, and I think this could do at least 40 billion. This is, everywhere. Everyone's using this meme, whether you're in the coin or not.
Right.
This probably has the most profile pictures on Twitter that I've seen. Some sort of Pepe
Yeah, I
or
know, right?
yeah, it's actually used. So
Yeah.
free advertising and
Yeah, I remember yeah, I remember I was holding Pepe and in March, I had sold right before March when it did like, I think it did like a 5x or something like that, and I was just so pissed that I sold it. So yeah, Pepe will do fine. It'll do pretty good. And Brett, like you said, you think Brett can hit that market cap of Pepe in its peak in last cycle? Like, hey, that's a really good play right there too.
yeah, I definitely believe in Brett. It has like the best socials right now. A lot of people are interacting with them. They're having like 100 grand, 100K views on their post in the first like 5 hours. It just doesn't compare to anything
Right.
hype wise. I'm just gonna do a little bit of an analysis. You might know of because Bitcoin on Twitter or YouTube, they're pretty big, getting there. Um, they do a lot of
Right.
and they're called the boys club narrative. But just for our analysis here, I could just do a quick general move. As you see, our markdown Pepe went down 65% from that last peak, whereas Brett
Right.
will make more multiples on the downside, but also it's on the other side as well, the low side,
More on
right?
the upside too.
On both sides, yeah. So
Yep.
this one went 70%. And on the run up, it made about a 600%.
Right.
Like 570 or something like that. So, whereas Pepe did 300
Right.
in that time frame. Pepe's got to run like first, and then it's Brett, and then it kind of rotates down. Next in line would be Andy, and And we've seen Andy
Yep.
already recover. So I could pull up Andy here. We just did Brett was about 600%. Andy did like 800%. Well,
Wow,
700%, which is
nice.
an 8x, right? So
Right.
it's called a
Yeah,
beta play
like you said, it'd be more on the downside, but more on the upside.
on both sides. Yeah, so if you could play it correctly, I'm not saying, play in and out of these. 'Cause that's a lot of mistakes you could have during that time. I'm definitely not doing it. So it went
Yeah,
down
right.
85%. So this literally like, damn, like that is crazy nuts. But it recently just went up again.
Yeah.
Pepe just did 80%, right? And on this recent leg
Right.
up, Andy did 300%, so 4x. But has yet, again, as we said,
Wow.
on the downside too, it's already down like 40%. So it's pretty risky um, if you're buying like the tops. But if you buy these exaggerated bottoms like here, I mean, your downside is
Right.
very
You'll be fine.
limited. And your upside, as you see, you can make a 3x on just a week.
All right.
And then lastly, Wolf, which is the
Yeah,
last
it could probably
character.
create a higher low here. Yeah.
Which one? Wolf?
Or just any of these really.
Oh yeah, this one did it. Created a higher high here. So here's this last high versus this high.
Right.
So it's like that. So somewhere here will still be a higher low.
Yep.
So alt season happens. Brett's gonna. Well, first Pepe, then eventually it'll trickle down to all these. Lastly, Wolf. But you get the idea. It's Wolf is the most, the last of the list, the lowest market cap, so that it does rise the most. Here it did a 400%. That's a 5x compared to Andy was that 4x that we talked about. So
Right.
if you really just want to degen, you could just kind of play it off of Wolf, try to get that high return, or Andy, because you're
Yeah.
kind of watching
Or
it
go half and
anyways.
half maybe.
Yeah. Or just play with Brett because I think, like for me, why would I buy Pepe if I could buy Brett? I think Brett in its
Right.
own has its own narrative. Aside from being in the boys club, and I showed it last stream that we kind of did together when we met, but I don't know if I can find it right now, but well, here it is. Basically, this fractal looks very close to where we're at right now.
Right.
You got this higher low, or this wick into a higher low here, and that's exactly what we did right here before we moved up. So this is kind of where we're at. And when it moves up, it's going to move up crazy.
Yeah. Was that
So
25 cents? 26 cents. Yeah.
yeah. As far as the all-time
Yeah,
high,
man. Like
it's
you
gonna
said, more.
definitely hit $1 at least. $2 is
Oh yeah.
fair as well. That'll be 20 billion market cap. So anywhere, even above 40 billion, like, of course I'll be taking profits by then.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Probably $2 or $3 range if it does well.
Yeah, that's one of my main bets this cycle. So I just bought some more yesterday. So thank you for this dip. I'm definitely bidding, that's for sure. The micro signs
Yeah.
are looking good for me. We all can't be right, these
Yeah.
bids
Like.
have to be sacrificed for our gain.
Right. Mm-hmm. 100%, man. You're gonna have to risk it for the biscuit, man. Like you said, more on the downside, but more on the upside. Like when I rotated the Caspa funds into the more degen altcoins, it's like and my portfolio went down. But then on the green day, it's like I made so much money on the side. You got the 7 day range, like things were up like 70, 60, 50%. Like you're gonna see more on the upside. So yeah, it may look a little demotivating on the downside, but you will be rewarded in the end on the upside.
Right? As long as you take those profits. So, lastly, at least from my side, unless you have any specific like requests, but
Yep.
so Twitter, I found this amazing fractal. Shout out to this guy, 100xgk. He basically did an
Mm.
analysis. Maybe he got it from someone. You never know when someone posts on Twitter if they stole it from someone, right? But from my knowledge, it's coming from him. So um, either way, it's looking pretty clean. This is Q4 of 2020. He labeled it Q4 20 here, and that's the open, right? So he labeled the bottoms. And if you see closely, it's going to be
Mm.
here a high, and that's the low, a higher low, a higher, or higher high, higher low. Here it's going to be actually a lower high to kind of confuse everyone. It's kind of like a
Oh, I
bear trap,
see.
I'd say.
Right, that's the only one really.
It's the only one. That's the swing that gets you confused. However, it is a higher high or higher
Right.
low, right? So it's like an indecision right there. Kind of
Right.
curls up into like a pennant, like a triangle right there. But it does break eventually
Yeah.
to a higher high and a higher low. So that was 2020, last cycle, right before everything went parabolic.
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin here is like 10K. Now, in today's time,
Oh
2024,
wow.
you can see, and when you're doing fractals, you never want to go exactly line by line, price by price, structure by structure, but you're trying to look at the overall spirit of how the market is behaving, and therefore that tells you how the participants are thinking, because what happens on the
Right.
chart is a representation of how people feel. So we see a lot of confluence here. We get that low, we got a higher high, we got a higher low, we got this little indecision lower high to confuse the bears or the bulls,
Right.
get people sidelined, get people shorted, whatever. And then, but you do eventually bust up, just like in previous sample example here, into a higher high and higher low. So that's exactly what we're dealing with right now. And I pre-labeled it
Yeah.
before
That's
this stream, but let me see. This is exactly it. And I color coded it here so we can kind of follow along a little better. So you got that low, you got that higher high in green, higher low in green, and then you got a different color
higher low.
here.
Yep.
Let me make it a little easier to see. Bear with me. Here it is. And these are daily candles, so like every day, just like this would be equivalent to today of the war news.
Right.
Things are going down. However, it's still holding a higher high and a higher low.
Right.
So you got this yellow part
Yeah.
giving you a lower high. Get everyone confused, but it holds a higher low. So this is I colored it different here so we could kind of pay attention to exactly where we're at. Again, as long as it doesn't cross down here, we're good.
Yeah.
And then it eventually busts to the higher high, higher low, and there you go. Bitcoin does like a 700% from here.
Wow.
It's
You
fucking,
said 70?
shit, maybe even more. Fucking flew off the screen there. Let me just measure it. Yeah,
Oh my
700%.
gosh.
Yeah, 6x, and just Bitcoin.
Imagine the 700% from here. Oh my
On Bitcoin.
gosh. We'd be millionaires. Yeah,
compared to
that would be
even
funny. So.
even the lowest of the cycle, 2022, to where we had our all-time high, it was only 400%. So it'd be even a
Right.
bigger move coming up next than what we experienced last year on Bitcoin. So imagine the alts, right?
Wow. Right.
All right, so now we're going to go into today's time.
Yeah, 100. Yeah.
You get that low, you got that higher high, you got a higher low, and then you got that kind of trap again, that bear trap,
Indecision.
that indecision level. It's a lower high, however, the the low is still a higher low than the month
All right.
prior. So
Mm-hmm.
as long as we keep it,
Yeah, we'll be fine. I think it literally looks like it should bounce now. Like, I mean, we'll still have some more room a little bit, but just not too much on the downside, hopefully, and we'll be fine.
compared to that fractal, it only went down for like 2 3 days. So we're on that third day. So yeah, you're right. Maybe tomorrow
Right.
it's gonna already be green, and from there, um, just continue. I mean, if we do, this should be the last shakeout until for this flag, the bull flag pattern.
Right.
I don't. We can't expect another 400% because Bitcoin's at a different market cap. But this should lead us into our
Right.
all-time high. All this
A
Boylan
hundred
effect.
percent.
Yeah. So it's an amazing fractal.
Yeah, that was really good. That was really the higher highs and higher lows was amazing. I never saw that. So yeah, exactly like that. I was back in 2020s. Hopefully, manipulation will off like rock and pump it up right now. So
Yeah.
they could tomorrow.
And we got elections coming up in the chart too, which is like November 2nd. So, like, we really don't have much time to go down. Like, imagine the market going down
Right.
on an election. Yeah. I don't think that's ever happened, like, before.
Right. That'd be
I'm not
yeah.
sure.
Right.
So many confluences. We could go
Yeah.
again and again, but I mean, I think for me, I covered all that I could. There's like 10 confluences
Yeah.
on the bull side, and I don't see any for the bears. Bears, where you at? What do you got for us?
Right.
So,
I mean,
yeah,
all they see, like when I see bears on Twitter, they just show a chart of what they think is gonna happen, and they just claim that, oh, it's a bull trap, and then that's it. Well, it's like, well, what are your factors? Like,
you're
you're
not
not stating
showing other
anything of how it could
confluences.
possibly keep going down.
Yeah,
Right.
they're saying, oh, all Twitter thinks we're going higher, so y'all are wrong. That could be
Yeah,
that could be one
that's their
thing. Yeah,
confluences.
you got one confluence, and then your opinion, and you call that a
Yeah.
confluence. Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's where we're at. I'm enjoying this day, and man, if I'm right, and if we're right, I mean, the facts are there. It's more probable up than down. So, it's not about being right. It's just about being on the more probable side. That's how you make money
Right.
in uncertainty. So I'm super excited for the months to come, man. You got anything you want to show on your side? I think you want to go through
I
some
think
AI
that's
coins or
it.
something, render. I don't know.
Let me see.
We'll go for overtime now, and this is just extra stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it just looks so crazy. The charts look so good before the war news. Like they all looked so healthy that they were gonna just break out of everything. We technically did. And then this unfortunate news happened, manipulation and things and so forth. But how my internet slow, man.
Not no worries.
Come on, come on, come on.
While that loads, yeah. I mean, we're holding 60K with this war news. I think it's priced in. We could talk about more details, but I, that's kind of really how it's looking.
Right.
This day is basically over. Market day closes at 7 p.m. like Central Time in like 4 hours.
4 more hours, really?
Yeah, the day's closed, like, so that's gonna be October 3rd already. That's gonna be like 2 days, 48 hours after the war news.
Yeah, it would have been even worse if we woke up and it was just bleeding so much, but we're good. So render, just looked like it wanted to break out so much. I mean, all of these coins literally look like that, man. Like
They made
if
a
you go
higher
to
high.
something like AGI or something, like it just yeah, it looked so good, man. Look like they all look the same, dude. Let me take these off. Yeah, I was charting was an average retrace of the 20% down. Like, of course, it kept going down for this.
Yeah, they made like
It
a
went down another
2x or
like
something.
30%. Yeah.
It's just a
That
spike.
so yeah.
And we were looking at
Look at
that
it. They
last week
look literally the
actually.
same.
We said, nah, this is definitely overbought. The RSI was like 80, but
Right. Right.
I mean just
Yeah.
for short term.
These. Yeah. Um. What is this, dude? Like what? These look literally the same. Like if you go to render and
Yeah,
Delicium AGI, they look exactly the same. Like literally identical. So we thought they were gonna break out here, but like we said, it was overbought. And AI Tech, same thing. It's got this little
just creating a
literally
local
same
low.
pattern, right? So even like you said, even if we go down here a little bit more and we drop down more, like we'll still create a higher low. We still have all of this right here till we come down here. And for this will be 11 cents for AGI. Right now it's holding 16. Render, it would be down like around right here to about 4.60, $4.60. You still have all of this room right here. So all right here is still be a higher low. Even if we come down here and we bounce and it goes
Yeah,
down to $5,
that'd be the
bounce right
demand.
back up.
Every
Right,
time it hits around 5, it's gonna react. It seems there.
right.
That's a good buy
So
point if you're looking for render.
yeah, right here before March. This was around 3. We had this little similar right here. Bro, what? We had this run up right here, came down and went up. We had it right here, run up, came down, and just parabolic for March, of course. It went to what is this? $13? Is that a real wick? Wow, even $12. That's insane. So yeah, render looks healthy. With it, if it was past here, then it'd be pretty. I'd be pretty worried. But even AGI, like it just
Yeah, AI
looks like
is
it wants
gonna
to send.
definitely boom. It's the
Right.
first cycle of AI coins, AI
Oh
crypto.
yeah. It may be the gaming of cycles of last cycle.
Yeah,
Now
and rebuilding.
TARS is just right. So this one is like, ugh. This one, I mean, it still looks the same. It's shot down so much. Oh, let me do that again. So from the highs that we had, and it went down 40%, brother. So I've taken a loss on this. I mean, I only DCA'd about 400, I
Hmm.
believe.
You bought at a twenty
So
percent correction rate.
Right. Yeah. I bought it at a 20% right here when it was at 16. It was around here. Yeah, 22, 16 cents. It went down another 20%. So, I mean, even then, like you take it off, it's like, well, this one is kind of getting close. If we go down to 10 cents, right? I mean, you still have all this room right here. So how much would that be? This would be like, we would have about another 20%, really 19, 20% drop, and then it'd be like, oof, we're in trouble for jars, you know. Um, so I mean, 20%. I don't think. I mean, it is an altcoin, so you definitely can go down another 20%. But as long as we still like hit around here, maybe like about another 10% drop, we're still looking healthy. Like you know, it'll still be a higher low. So hopefully we bounce up and on the upside, let's see if we down to 20 cents. From here is another 60%. So if I buy here, another DCA, and it just goes back up here to 20 cents, it's already a 60% on the upside. You know what I mean? So yeah, TAR's looking like a good buy.
Yeah.
Really everything is. So
TARS is a AI
so
coin too, right?
yeah, it's a AI coin. So it's a lower
All of
market
these are
cap.
gonna be at such a high level later. We're gonna laugh at these prices, man.
Right? Yeah, I was making YouTube videos around like 20, 30K Bitcoin, and I rewatched them sometimes. I'm like, dang, it was just
Yeah,
so
that's good,
normal
bro.
for us to be around 30, 40. Like,
Yeah, at the time it was like it felt like high, or I guess you would say, or what?
right. I
Yeah.
wonder if I can see your channel. So this was, let's see.
We got 5 viewers. Thanks for showing up. Let us know what you guys think. We're just
Yep.
having some fun. We could be a lot better. We could get more tips, and that'll help us out.
Right.
Help us help you out.
Right. So this was Sandbox. No, that's not it. Man, what was it? I wonder if it's this right here. I don't think you can see it. Oh, this is total crypto market cap. I should have moved my screen. Yeah, well, oh well. I'll save it for next stream. I don't want to keep doing that. But yeah.
Next one.
That was yeah. Next one.
So
We'll look at
lastly,
these
let's
prices
see.
and
Yeah. Um, Before we head out, though, I think we had a request for Solana, so that could be the finishing
okay. Let's
touch
see.
or whatever else you'd like.
All right.
Solana, the potential 100x of this cycle, man, for a high cap. Only place in the fucking world you could get 100x,
right.
aside from
I don't know
maybe
what is
being in
happening.
Amazon or Facebook early,
All right.
maybe Tesla.
Or Nvidia. So yeah, it literally looks the same as everything. I mean, Solana, it's how we notice on the AI coins, like from their highs, it went really, really low. Like so from here, like Solana held up pretty well. Like I want to say from now, it's like see, all right, even
Wow.
in the low, it only did like
Yeah.
a 47% retrace while everything else did like a 80, 90, 70. It held up
Yeah.
well. Then here only a 40 retrace and now you're only up from 30, 33 from that March high, So people who are in Solana have a big bag. They're not really they're not down a lot.
They're not down a lot, and this is gonna start running too.
Right. And bro. From March's all-time high is 23% away. Let's see from here.
Damn, look at that. 1x or double, or 2x, I guess you could call it.
Right, for all-time high of last cycle, which was, god dang it, which was, yeah, 250, 260 Solana. We're like literally 140 right here. Even from this last 66K up move, like we're at 162. So like $100 off, you know,
For it being like what, number 5 market cap, that is crazy. That is
right?
like safe. If there's ever such thing as safe in crypto, this is it. You know, other than
Yeah,
Bitcoin. I'd rather touch
right.
Solana, hold that than Ethereum.
Yeah, 100%, man. You're gonna get more X's and it'll still be safe. So
You got the
yeah,
memes, it's all coming from Solana, so that's kind of the narrative. Next cycle, I don't know if memes are going to be this big, but this cycle, Solana is carrying that theme.
this
Prime
literally
use
looks.
case.
Yeah, this literally looks like BTC, bro. I mean, everything follows BTC, but like, uh, we zoom out, like they look exactly identical.
Yeah, it's like flagging too.
Yeah, they look identical, man. A little
So it's
choppy.
holding
They had
like
the same
Bitcoin.
leg down right here.
Bitcoin also went down like 33. Well, I guess it's only like 30 right now. Maybe
Right,
25 from its all-time high. But still
right.
very similar.
Yeah, from March. Yeah. So yeah, Solana looks healthy, man. It's safe, like you said.
All right, man. Well, I'm good. Um, it's been a great stream for sure. We'll do one again.
Yeah.
I guess maybe later this month if possible. If not, for sure November. If you're
Yeah,
down.
we can do it like depending on the market, if it's going crazy on the upside or downside, we'll do maybe like mid-October, I don't know, or end October.
Yeah,
And
maybe we
then
could
yeah.
try mid October. Yeah, or end.
So yeah, we'll keep you guys updated. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and all right, I guess that's it.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, boom. Stream is over. Cool.
Cool, man.
Um,
I got a lot of good shit today.
oh yeah.
As long as we improve like every little bit, it's I mean we're just doing it for fun. I'm not really doing it for like I want to get famous.